This video shows the area in front of 491 Kensington on April 5th at about 3 p.m. You can see there's a significant reservoir of water. It's normal for this reservoir to be present nearly all of the time, so all summer, and it's quite deep. If you look at the where the sidewalk is, it's really up to the top of the curb here, and up to the top of the curb around here as well. So this is a depression in the road. The road has sunk. The water would normally run from the north where this van is, and it would run south, but it can't get over a hump here, which is maybe the normal level of the road, unless the puddle is quite high and then the catch basin is further south in this direction. Let's now look at this same area the next day on April 6th at 2 p.m. So it's nice and sunny. The puddle is unchanged. You can see more clearly where that hump is. The deepest area again is about here. And we expect to see this puddle all of the time. Sometimes I put out stepping stones even to allow people to cross from the business I'm in just to get across this puddle. Just take a look at this puddle over here. So this is another small depression, kind of like a pothole. You'll notice that this area here retains water and is stable in the next few segments of the video. So let's now go to April 7, the following day, at the same time. So around 2:48 or 3 p.m., see I've got, there's a timestamp for all of these. The puddle is gone, or it's draining. And what we have here actually is a whole lot of mud. Because it's a spring, we're during a spring melt period, there's lots of water and debris moving, but of course the sediment and the mud just collects. But the puddle has dried up. The puddle has not dried up over here. This has been unaffected. It looks like this area right here, now at some point, if you look closely, you can see that this part of the road was cut out. And that seems to be also the area that the water is draining into. So it's draining into the roadbed, into the curb. And this area is where the puddle is deepest, but it's upstream. It's sunken quite a bit here. And this ends up being a low area that the water can drain into. And then there's a hump here. Water just has a hard time going uphill in this area, getting past the hump. Well, of course, this water didn't evaporate. That water didn't evaporate on the other side there. This water has drained into the road bed, and it's a fairly large quantity of water. So let's now jump ahead to April the 10th. And we'll say about 2:30. Well, look at this. Over on the other side of the street, this pothole has remained wet. Nothing has changed over there. But on this side, it's now, we haven't had rain or significant runoff, and it's actually been quite cool, so that's reduced the runoff. But regardless, whatever water has run down here has just simply dried up and disappeared. And you can kind of see a closer look at, or get a better look now at where this was dug up. And the asphalt was broken here in a line that was done many years ago. I don't know what the purpose of it was. So that's April 10th. I'm filming this video on April the 12th. So at 11 a.m., you can see that there's some water buildup again. And again, if we go to the other side of the street, if we use this as kind of a reference point, This is just simply a stable puddle on the other side of the street. We're not worried about what's going on here, but it's not like something mysterious is happening to the water. If you go to the other side of the street, there appears to be no problem with the roadbed. So the puddle's kind of building up again, and let's just so that's at 11:43. Let's just jump ahead. It's now 4:42 p.m. and our puddle is building up again. So what's happening here? From my perspective, I know that normally water sits in this area. Water suddenly disappeared and quickly, and it appeared to be draining into the roadbed. Well, that makes it look like maybe that water is getting into the sewer system, and so it's got some place to go, and there's a worry with that it would go through the roadbed and into the sewer system because that can bring soil with it. Another possibility is that there's a very large cavity, because we've had trouble with this road sinking for many, many years, and the roadbed has sunk. Actually, the ground here has sunk considerably, and this has been built up with soil simply to prevent marshy, puddly areas on the grass. So that has really sunk. It sunk here. It sunk all the way along the road. So my question is, do we have a cavity that drained all of the water that was sitting in that depression on the surface? Did that cavity become accessible when the ground started to thaw out? Is the cavity full now, and thereby causing the water to fill up the depression? And as it gets high enough, it should keep running over this high area here and make it to the catch basin. And so if that's the case, if there is a cavity, is this evidence of cavitation that's just filled up with water and or not? But if there is a cavity, how big is it, and where is it?